Happy Friday, America, and happy Super Bowl weekend. That's right. This weekend only comes around once a year. It's big. Get the snacks ready. Get ready for all the fun. But first, the fun starts right here on the Discussion Combustion Happy Friday America YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining us. You just got done rocking the Fricashinas. Maybe they'll do the Super Bowl halftime show one day. We'll see what happens. My name is Kevin Batstone. I'll be running the ones and twos, doing a little emceeing on this episode. Looking forward to getting this weekend started off right, bringing it in with all of the energy. We've got Mr. Arthur, the Fresh Kicks Rawe.
Oh, baby. You know when we stepping on the game that you can't say it's lame because authentic is the game, I suppose. But hey, man, we keeping it funky fresh on a Friday. Thank you, Fricashinas, and we about to get this going off. Fantastic. Let's go.
Let's full send. Let's go, Art. Today in history, what do we got?
Today in history, 1870. This is a cool one. Look, as growing up as an aspiring meteorologist, I know you would appreciate this one.
It's kind of a big deal.
So 1870, U.S. Army establishes the U.S. National Weather Service.
Big deal. Still goes on today. You know, we know it as NOAA. They do some amazing things. They're actually one of their main hubs is right up the road in Boulder, Colorado. So, of course, they're a national base, but one of their big hubs is here in Colorado. And, they've kind of paved the way for radar technology and a lot of cool things that they do in the weather industry.
See, I knew you'd had some stuff to say there. So we're moving forward in time here. 1948, we're sticking in the media entertainment outlets. So in Cincinnati, Ohio, WLWT-TV Channel 5 begins broadcasting, later to be known as NBC.
Wow, I didn't know that. So it started, NBC, essentially, its roots started in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that started in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't name anything else other than like...
Kroger.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
That's a big one. Keeping it moving. Apollo 14 returns to Earth, 1971. That's pretty cool. I loved the movie Apollo 13. That was a fun movie. But yeah, 1971 on this day in history.
The cojones on people to travel into space and like, or not all of them have cojones now. So the grit. I'll just say the grit in these people's hearts to travel to space. I admire you.
Fair.
Moving forward. This one is an interesting one. Look, we throw a lot of random records on this show, so this one I had to throw in here. In 1992, we had the fastest yodeler, 22 tones, 15 falsetto in 1 second by Thomas in the school in Germany.
That's amazing.
1 second, 22 tones,
that's.
Like, what did they? How did they had to have recorded it, slowed it down, and critiqued it? That's the only way I could see.
To do it in 1 second is crazy. I did a little vocal coaching when I was with the Ridge Runners and learning falsetto voice and how to do those different ranges. Mm-hmm. To be able to do 22 tones, it's one thing to do it over 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but in 1 second,
that's crazy.
Obviously it's 1992. No one's been able to beat that since.
Well, who knows? Did we search to see if it's been beaten?
I have not searched.
All I know is they did set a record at that time.
It probably has.
And then 2015, look, we already know that people around the nation, a lot of things changed for them. They started exploring new things in their sexual behavior, and that's thanks to the movie 50 Shades of Grey. That was released in 2015 on this day.
I don't like that movie. I just wasn't a big fan of the storyline behind it. I think it's a little ridiculous. I had a pretty uncomfortable experience viewing that film. I went to a movie tavern kind of place for, it's like one of those places where you can get food.
Okay.
And, it's a nice little theater. I was like, I'll go check this out. It was a double date scenario.
Okay.
That
sounds fun.
Yeah, most awkward situation I've ever been in a movie theater to this date. I was sweating by the time I was out of there. Swinging was wanting to be happening, and I wanted no part of it.
And you were stuck in the middle, I believe.
Yes.
Interesting. That's a funny story, but
it's a rough day.
We don't have that kind of time here on Happy Friday to dive into personal events like that.
That's another show.
Unfortunately, no nuclear tests, or fortunately, no nuclear tests were performed on Today in History.
Yes. Well, let's keep it moving, Art. Speaking of the entertainment industry, so major announcement came this week. Fox, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Disney are going to be doing a massive, massive merger. This is really going to put a huge damper on folks like DirecTV, YouTube TV, Fubo TV, because those guys specialize in sports. They are going to launch the biggest streaming sports platform that we've seen yet to date. They're expecting to get this thing up and running by September. So, you're talking Fox Sports 1, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, the Golf Channel. Pretty much where you get most of your sports is going to be under one umbrella now.
Basically Disney.
Pretty much. And NASCAR announced earlier this year that they have a massive stream plan going into 2025. You're just going to start seeing this with more and more sports. People were pissed about the Kansas City game being on Peacock. This is where the world's going. That's just the way it's going.
Eventually we're all going to be one race, and all the business will be conducted underneath one umbrella. So that's where the world's going within the next 1,000 years. You guarantee that.
Yes, we'll all be working for Amazon.
Yes, if we still are alive.
Well, I certainly won't be here in 1,000 years, but I know what you mean. So that's a big deal, man, for all the sports fans. It's coming. Stay tuned. More on that. Probably won't come until about the holiday season would be my guess. And so that's big news this week. All right, what you got?
I mean, isn't some of the stuff, isn't there laws like against monopolies and different things of that nature? Like, I don't know. You know, they got lawyers to pay for it.
There's enough money behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been enjoying bringing out some positive light on our Happy Friday episodes recently. And so I found an article, and it was actually a quick blog written by Serena Smith, and it was epic advice. Life can be tough, be tougher. The story of Serena is she was in school, high school during the pandemic, and she experienced doing homeschooling, being apart from people. She became depressed, even though she had like a close family, all this other stuff, and then realized that sticking through it and acknowledging these things led her to a place of more happiness, and also getting involved in different programs to create more interaction with people, right, outside of her family, because obviously that's so important for humans. And so I like it when people throw out stuff like this, blogs, media, where they admit to where times are tough and where they had to stick it through to see the light at the end. So with this, I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, like, for all the viewers, anyone viewing this or listening, what's something that you had to overcome? What's something that you overcame in the past, or maybe what's something that you're being challenged with right now? The benefit of going into the past is that's free success energy. This is already something that we've overcome in our lives, and we have already demonstrated that strength. So that's free success energy to help us continue to move forward. And if you're dealing with something right now, then maybe it's the time to like put your heels in the ground and really put your nose down and get to it. So I have so many things I could go off on here, but my most recent battle was with alcohol, and so I wanted to share a little bit about that. With booze, I was probably over drinking. I knew I was over drinking for several years, and then from there, slowly weeded it out. Now I'm at a point with my relationship with alcohol where I don't even need it, take it or leave it. And if I do have it, I'll have one or two, and it might be like once on the whole week.
That's a healthy relationship.
So it's completely changed. But it took a lot of time, and it took forgiving myself whenever I felt like I was messing up, right? Well, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to open that up. And yeah, you can go ahead.
No, I remember last year in 2023, as you were doing your weight loss journey and making progress to that, I remember you saying one of the things you wanted to focus on in 23 was getting a grip on alcohol, which you did, and you're going to continue that into 24. Obviously, I am as well, coming up into the summer here. So I think that's good, man. I think it's good to look in the mirror and go, where can I improve on things? For me, I think back to still coping with anger management. Mm-hmm. You're never just done with it. No. It's a constant battle. That's something that you wrestle with all the time, just like opiate addiction, alcoholism, whatever it is. Every day you're still wrestling with it. And so, like we talked about in Discussion Combustion last night, these kids that have cell phones in classrooms now and social media and the impacts that's having, we still don't have enough research because it hasn't been around long enough, but the long-term effects from this are not good.
No.
And so I think it's good to get in front of it early if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. We always like to keep it light, keep it fun here, but I do like to be heartfelt and serious a couple times. So from us to you, you got this. Stay in it. Stay resilient. I believe in your inner warrior. Let's summon that motherfucker and crush.
That's right. Put your armor on and go to war with yourself or whatever you got to do. So here's one of my favorite parts of the week. Kev's Random Records. There's a couple to choose from this week. Don't worry. David Rush is not here this week. You might see him next week. Art, I think you would like this one. This one's pretty cool. I always appreciate people that have such a passion for things that they collect a lot of. Whether that's memorabilia, sports, you name it. So an Oklahoma woman breaks the record for the amount of units that she had. So it was a specific number that she had to eclipse to make this record. It was 2,026 items of basically everything tying to Avatar.
Shirts, hats,
dolls,
figures, whatever.
You name it. Posters, pictures, blankets, just anything that represented or tied back to Avatar, the last Airbender series, which, when it comes to...
Did you ever watch that?
No.
Me neither.
I only saw The Way of the Water and then the first film in the movie. But this is a different Avatar.
Yes, it's a completely different Avatar.
When I first read this through, I go, oh, that's the Avatar I know. And then I was like, wait a minute.
No,
it's not. It's completely different. It was
like a hand-drawn
animated series. Yeah. And so I learned that as I was reading this article.
It's like an elemental series where the people can control elements, and there's different benders of different elements, and then the main character
there was a video game
is
about
the last
too.
one that is for the air.
Yeah.
I never played the game either.
Yeah, I remember the game being a level up game if you were like an Xbox gamer that cared about your score because it was one of the easiest way to boost your gamer score. But in any case, we're getting off topic. So she now holds the record. Super nerdy stuff. I think it's great. Just goes to show you can be passionate about anything. You can get in the Guinness Book of World Records for it.
I feel like we've had some of this stuff in the past, and there's like something about that around 2000 number. Like there's like once you hit that 2000 number, you might just be almost setting a world record on the amount of something that you have. I feel like we've seen that number pop up multiple times.
Yeah, I think we did like a Batman collection one. There was like a Lego one.
It was like 2246 or something. Like it was in the 2000s.
Yeah, I do want the Lego Titanic, by the way. A little bit off the record. I've been thinking about it a lot this week.
That thing is cool.
I might have
if you've thought about it more than 5 times.
Really just yesterday I was thinking about it.
Well, I mean,
but
how
I just
many
thought about
times
it again.
yesterday?
Probably 4 yesterday, 1 today, so 5.
So that's 5.
Yeah, I better get it.
That's the magic number.
I better
5
get
seconds.
I better get it, so stay tuned on that. So that's my random records for the week. Moving on to another weekly segment that we like to do here is the Would You Rather, which you did not put in the script, so I didn't have a chance to even think about it.
Nope,
so
it's not in the script.
You're going to be hitting me live action. But
Yes.
before we get to that, let's go to last week's results. Of course, you can get involved with our Would You Rather polls every Friday morning on Twitter X at HappyFryUSA, or just simply leave a comment down below. So last week's Would You Rather was, if you had the money, had $100,000, and you could go on a vacation, where are you going? Are you going to the African safari or a Bahama cruise? I chose the safari. You chose the cruise. 67% are going with you on the cruise.
Really? Okay, let's go.
And my people here are 3 out of 10. We're going to African safari.
Yeah, y'all are getting. Well, we're all getting sunburned, but we're just going to be drinking pina coladas.
That is fair. Yeah, and I might be running from a lion.
I mean, you might be running the lion pride because I think that you are a king.
Thank you. Yeah, but when you get out there, you're bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, I mean, look, tools, sticks, we know how to use them. They don't fuck with us. We're human. So would you rather... Oh, and thank you, everybody, for participating. Can't wait to see everyone's feedback on this one. We're sticking around with the money theme a little bit, and this one may pull at the heartstrings. So would you rather be dirt poor but have close friends and family that you love? You know where this is going. Or would you rather be like boatload rich, uber mega rich, but you don't have any close friends or family? You're basically alone. Which are you going to choose?
I think we've had something similar to this before. I don't think it's quite been worded that way. But I'm gonna take being dirt poor. You know, like there was a lyric I wrote in a song, "Going Home with the Ridge Runners" with Jamie Rourke, that family and friends make you the richest man. And so I'll always kind of stay true to that. As nice it is to have nice things and airplanes, boats, you name it, and you can still probably buy friends if you know what I mean. You could buy an entourage. You could surround yourself with fake people.
Yes,
but to have true family and friends, you're never really going to be dirt poor. Literally, maybe or figuratively.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, because you're going to bed at night. At least you have that love. And so, kind of going back to Serena's article that we talked about, her blog earlier. You know, having that connection, that real connection with people, and humans need that. We're social creatures. So I feel like part of me is like, dude, I have a lot of happiness being alone and solo. Like, I've found myself being alone and solo, and I found a lot of happiness there. But along the way, I was still saying what's up to my friends, like at least once a day or once every other day at minimum. And I don't know how I could do it without my people or my family. So, like, I'm going dirt poor. I'm going to say over 80% chooses to be dirt poor on this one.
I don't know. I think we've run some of these, what I would call kind of greedy polls, if you will.
Yeah.
Where it comes to like taking the money or taking something else. I feel like a lot of people want the money. And that just kind of, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just kind of speaks volume to your character a little bit and what you prioritize in life.
Well, look, and if you will enjoy your margarita or whatever you're drinking on your private yacht and you enjoy the view by yourself and don't need to share, like, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like, part of me wants to take that. Like, part of me really does want to take that. And I'm just like, dude, I don't care. I'll just go fucking be in my helicopter by myself, like flying over wherever.
I know.
On my African safari.
Yeah, I do. It is kind of like, because I think about what would be cool about it. Like, I would have my own island, not some Epstein shit. An island where no one else.
Why would you even put that part in there?
Because that's been, in the news a lot
For
lately.
islands, you say island, everyone gets triggered.
Well, if you own your own island, people go, what are you, Epstein over here?
What are you doing over there?
Right. What
would you do on your island?
I would just chill. I'd have all my resources that I need there. I'd be just chilling in the sun.
Yeah.
I'd have some animals to hang out with.
So you would be mega rich and opt to like truly seclude yourself.
That would be the only way I would take that option.
Okay, because it's part of that. Like, you're kind of alone. but like you would truly seclude yourself.
Yeah,
then, at
I
this
would.
point. Like you don't even want to be around anybody.
No, I'd have a farm. I'd have my animals. I'd grow some produce.
Yeah,
and I would just
no
self-sustain.
one said no dogs. Like that wasn't part of it.
Yeah.
Like no animals. Like nothing like that.
But I'm still going to take the dirt poor.
Yeah.
As of right now, that might change as I get older because the older I get, the less I like to involve myself with people.
Yeah. This one's tough. I'm kind of on the fence for it, but I'm sticking with my intuition. Dirt poor with love in my heart and meaningful people around me.
Yes, and with love in our heart and meaningful people, rest in peace to Toby Keith. He lost his battle to stomach cancer earlier this week at 62 years of age. Tremendous legend to country music and music across the board. I think back to the 90s and the 2000s and 2010s, some of the music he would put out, yes, he was significantly older than me, but I kind of feel like I grew up and evolved with a lot of the stuff like when Red Solo Cup came out, I fill you up, proceed to party. Like that was coming out when I was like turning 21.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot of his songs lined up,
We'd be playing that, playing
beer pong.
It's always interesting whenever we talk about celebrities passing on this show because often I always think about the same thing, Toby Keith will be remembered.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll be remembered. His music will be listened to, just like Pac when Tupac died. When people die, they become infamous. They're famous in life. They die, and then they become infamous.
Yeah.
And so, to be able to have that legacy while passing, I think that's what a lot of people strive for in life, either through a family, through a business. So I hope that everyone in his family is celebrating his life, and may we all be able to make such an impact and help people the way that he's helped people. I'm sure he has.
Absolutely. What he did for the troops was amazing. I mean, the trips that he would make to Iraq and Afghanistan to perform for free, to support our military and support this great nation. He was a true patriot. So R.I.P. Toby Keith, gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, R.I.P. Love that. So bringing it back to beavers, okay? We've been talking beavers versus coyotes. We've been talking beavers taking over the nation, wrecking
this is
neighborhoods.
More you.
Happy Friday's an us thing.
Yeah,
okay?
It is. But you brought all the beaver things in. It was your Would You Rather. It was your beaver segments.
Look, I can't help that beavers are popping up in the news feed. And this time... This is a little bit more educational, okay? So the U.S. is bringing back nature's best firefighter, a.k.a. nature's engineer, the beaver. And so I just want to cover a little bit more about beavers since I've been highlighting them and talking about them a little bit and the importance of having them in our environments. So obviously... in like the 1600s, early 20th century, beaver populations really collapsed due to trapping and the fur trade and all that sort of stuff. They once numbered around 100 to 200 million in their numbers, and then they got to as few as 100,000 in the 20th century. Obviously, we do know that beavers play a crucial part in their habitats with the damming that they do, the ponds that they form. Those ponds actually can sustain populations with water for animals and or farmers, because people think they compete with farmers and all these misconceptions, but they actually were disproven, and it's a misconception. Beavers actually do help regulate water throughout the year, and there's some quotes in here as well from these guys in New Mexico where like they were a little on the fence about having beavers reintroduced, but then on a really dry, hot summer, they had sustained water due to the beaver damming and that resource that they saved over there. So they're great for that. Another misconception is that they like every tree. They're actually super picky. Beavers are also known to improve fish habitats, therefore helping threatened fish populations recover. They provide habitat for other animals. They have protecting landscapes for wildfires, and they also dig out these little thin canals that gradually spread water throughout the landscape. So it's like
they do some amazing things.
Yeah, beavers are so crucial, man. They're so crucial, and they're taking over the nation, and it's by choice right now. The United States has been doing this. California did it in 2022. They re-released beavers for the first time in like 75 years. So Beaver Nation is here, and baby, Beaver Nation is back.
They're doing some amazing things. One thing I find interesting is that they are not necessarily picky, but they don't just eat any tree. And so one thing I've been my day job, I work with Maker's Mark and took some classes, and I learned about white American oak.
Okay.
Because that's what's commonly used in some of the wood barrels and stuff for Maker's Mark. I wonder, but white American oak is also threatened right now. It's almost like an endangered species because they're not populating and rejuvenating as quick as most trees do because the sun is not making it through the canopy. Because most white American oak trees are old. They've been around 200-300 years.
Really?
So they're having a tough time rejuvenating. And I'm wondering if beavers, I don't necessarily have anything to do with that, but if beavers involve themselves with white American oak because there's a lot of
that's
them
on their palate.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's a question I would have for a beaver expert.
Yeah, and I know this doesn't have to do with beavers, but here in Colorado, and this was probably 10 years ago at this point, but like the beetle kill that went through the mountains and stuff, like we're still recovering from that.
Sure.
It's crazy. So the environment that we live on is the environments that we live in are delicate, and due to evolution and habitat and like all these creatures exist in these numbers for a reason to make our nature and habitats healthy and sustainable for life for generations to come.
Just like the bees.
So I'm about the bees, I'm about the beavers, and I'm about snacks during the Super Bowl.
That's right. So Super Bowl weekend, guys, I love to eat. I love to make food. I love finger foods and hors d'oeuvres, as they call them.
Hors d'oeuvres?
Hors d'oeuvres. That's just how it's properly pronounced.
Okay.
You got to put your nose up like this when you say a hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Would you like a hors d'oeuvre?
You're going to make me... No.
All right, so...
Go ahead.
I did a little Google researching on the top trending snacks around Super Bowl time or like easy finger foods to make. So I'm going to read it from 10 to 1.
I'm disappointed that one didn't hit here.
What do you mean?
I'm disappointed that one wasn't
okay,
on here.
we'll get to it because I have some I want to add too. So, most of these are predictable. So number 10, spinach artichoke dip, delicious, one of my favorites. Pigs in a blanket, super easy, coming in at 9. Nachos, hummus, buffalo wings, chili coming in at number 5, one of my favorites. I don't really see chili being finger foods per se, but easy.
You dip in a chip in it.
You could dip a chip in it. You could dip a chip in it. Tater tots coming in at number 4, chips and salsa, guacamole, and meatballs coming in at number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, but remember when I made those crock pot meatballs? They were delicious. Sweet and sour, you put a little toothpick in it, you put it on a platter.
Those were great.
Simple to make.
Those were great. Those were great.
I think it's also an order of how easy it is to make. But pigs in a blanket is not that hard. You take a crescent roll and roll up a hot dog in it.
And guacamole is way harder to make than chips and salsa.
Correct. So
if you're home making it.
Yep.
And
so that's
I highly
the top 10.
suggest. Yeah, so one thing, look, queso, I'm sure, would be on the tater tots and or on the nachos, but where's just the queso dip on here?
Yeah.
I was surprised to not see that. I love seeing the hummus on there. That's normally served with, celery,
pita.
carrots, maybe some, the pita is delicious, and then like the cucumbers. So hummus is one of my I actually went on a hummus kick for a while, and I was just seeking out bars that served hummus, and I was going around seeing which bar had the best hummus around. So which one do I think it's missing?
For me, it's pretty obvious.
What is it for you?
Mozzarella sticks.
The mozzarella sticks?
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple finger food that's so easy to make, and it didn't make the top 10.
So we're just going...
and the other thing that didn't make the top 10 is pizza.
Yeah, no, that's what I was kind of thinking pizza. I was thinking pizza there. This is a good list. Out of here, I would want the hummus, spinach artichoke dip. Let's just... Dude, I'll be out of town, but I was going to say, like, we can make all of this happen. The top 10.
Oh, yeah.
We can make the whole top 10 happen.
You can make all of them happen. I mean, if I had to pick 2 off this list, I would probably go... Man, it's tough to pick. Chili for sure is going, and buffalo wings, just because I love wings.
Yeah.
I like Daytona style from Hooters, but like buffalo wings are a must-have, especially at like a game, a gathering. It's just you think football foods, you think wings.
Yep, you do. With the football, I'm not rooting for anybody, but I am rooting that everybody has a good, safe time. Let's be responsible with how we're going to and from places, please.
Absolutely. And that leads us into the weekend of cool things to do. Obviously, Super Bowl 58. Art, did you know the Roman numeral of 58?
No, I did not.
So L would be 50, V would be 5, and then I would be 111, meaning 8. So some people don't know how to read Roman numerals.
Yeah.
Like the L would be 50, the V is 5, and then 11 or
myself included. I don't know how to
Yeah,
read 'em.
I don't know where I learned how to read Roman numerals. Somebody either taught it to me or it
Yeah.
just started to make sense. But either way, that's why I put a 58 next to it, just so you would
Okay.
know. Super Bowl 58 is going on in Las Vegas. There's no way you're getting tickets unless you want to spend over. I took a look this morning.
That's crazy.
Took a
Wait,
look this morning.
Let me guess. For nosebleed,
Okay, I didn't look nosebleed. I looked 50
Mid?
yard,
50 yard, how high up?
pretty low.
Okay, 50 yard, pretty low.
Yeah,
You're looking at like 15, 17 grand.
$55,000
Shut the fuck up.
was the cheapest I could find on the 50-yard line,
That's
10 rows up.
Crazy.
So good luck getting tickets.
55 grand.
I mean, unless you hit it big in Vegas, I'm definitely going to be putting money on the Super Bowl this weekend. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
I use DraftKings, free plug for them. I'm gonna gamble maybe $50 on the game, and I'm gonna do a parlay. That's another story. Art, you're going to New Orleans. Mardi Gras is
Yes.
kicking off.
I will be in the dirty South. Well, I guess that's Atlanta.
Oh no, New Orleans is definitely the dirty South.
Yeah, is it? I don't know. I feel like they call Atlanta dirty South, but no, I'll be in NOLA for America's biggest party. You only live once. I'm spending a pretty penny to go down there, and it's going to be a great experience. I'm really looking forward to the festivities. We will be in the French Quarter, so the more
Beautiful.
adult, classy section. I still expect to see Chess out, and my date is also welcome to
Get the beads?
Yeah, she can get some beads if she wants. We're here. We only live once. We're in Mardi Gras.
Hang those titties out.
Yes. So I'm looking.
That's what it's about.
I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a good time down there.
I'm happy, man.
I'm interested with the whole drinking thing because
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it as much. I'll probably have a couple down there, but
You gotta have a hand grenade. It's New Orleans.
But I'm sticking to what feels best for me, man.
I respect
That's really just like I love chugging a lemon water, and like nothing feels better than a good swim. And I'm gonna be swimming in beads out in New Orleans.
Man.
Hopefully I see you there. It's gonna be a blast.
What a party that's going to be, man. New Orleans is a fun city. I went there in 2016 for a cruise that went down to Mississippi,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to spend a night, walk the Bourbon Street. It smelled like vomit. It's probably going to smell
Yeah, I'm
even
not going
worse.
to Bourbon Street. I'm not going to Bourbon
It's
Street.
going to be even worse this
I'm
weekend.
avoiding Bourbon Street.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
It's a must-see, though. You got to see it
Hey,
once.
you brought me as the sneaker guy. You think I want to put my fresh sneakers out on that street? Come on.
I don't know about all that.
You gotta like.
I don't know all about that,
You gotta
but
put some saran wrap on the bottom.
you got to do something. But get yourself some boudin, get yourself some seafood, maybe some oysters.
Oh
And
yeah, the
speaking
food's
of
gonna be great.
seafood,
It's gonna be great.
if you love seafood and you're in West Palm Beach, Florida, they got the Seafood Festival going on. I mean, all the delicious things from the ocean. That would be tremendous. That's going to be going on Saturday and Sunday at the Expo Center down in West Palm Beach. Up in my neck of the woods, Boston Wine and Food Festival down there in Beantown. What a fun place that is. Also great seafood in Boston.
Yeah, great food, great environment. Look, you pay an admission fee for these wine and food festivals. You're there for like 3 or 4 hours, and I suggest arriving hungry and just pace your alcohol out a little bit. So appreciate everybody tuning in to this happy Friday. Let's bring in the weekend right. It's going to be a great weekend, a beautiful life. Let's do everything that we can to grow ourselves as individuals, and let's not discourage ourselves because life, as we all know, can be super tough. Just like our intro and outro is tough enough to break a neck. Let's go, freakishinas.